Well, we got the engine back in place. I welded up the motor mounts. Still waiting on the rear transmission cross member. Hopefully it'll be in sometime today, so then I can weld some tabs on the frame and build a piece of tubing that goes across with a bar for the single bolt for the transmission. Back in the shop today, so I'm going to do a little work on this 1929 project. Got the transmission sitting right there. I just picked up new flywheel bolts and new clutch bolts. So I'll start off with getting the flywheel bolts in and torqued in, and then I'll start installing the clutch. I did put a rear main in this, did it last night. Pulled the flywheel off, popped in the rear main, put it back on with 2 bolts. Got the pilot in. Got the new throw out on the shaft in there. So anyways, I'll start with getting this all tightened up. Blue Loctite them bolts in, torque them in. Let's get a clutch installed and we'll hook up the transmission and swing this thing in. So I bought a clutch kit for this, and it said it was supposed to be a 9 1/8. But when I put the disc on, it was basically out to the bolt holes. So when I put the pressure plate on, you couldn't even put a bolt in. Anyway, somebody swapped the disc out because pressure plate was 9 1/8, but the disc was 10 1/8 or 10 1/4. So anyways, I just ordered in another one. I'll just return this one. But for now, I'm gonna keep going. I'm just gonna hook up the transmission and then we can swing it down in, move the blocking, and we can start building motor mounts and a trans cross member. So let's just keep going. Alright, kind of got it rolled into place, fairly centered up. Engine's sitting basically where I want it. Needs to be about 6 1/4 inches side to side to be true and center. So this is what I'm going to use as an engine mount. It's just a universal weld-on mount system. Probably sit something like that, center of the plate. And then it has 2 tabs that go on both sides of the mount that weld to the frame. So just need to kind of get an idea where I want these all to go. Then I can pull this mount off and weld these on, and then cut my plates on each side to length. And then I can get this motor centered up again and tack them onto the frame. Like that, we got some motor mounts built, engine setting on them. They're just tacked in top and bottom. I made sure it was level this way. It has a 1.5 degree angle back. Other side is tacked in. I gotta order a new transmission cross member. This one's got tore in half, the rubber separated. So I'll order a brand new one, then I can build a rear cross member. But for now, just strap's gonna hold it up about where we need it. So got the transmission just held up with a strap. This is the transmission mount that goes underneath right there. Gonna weld the tab over there and a tab right here. More back here. Bolt in a cross member with a tab mechanism that goes underneath. That transmission mount and cradles it. Well, we cut some tabs, welded them onto the frame on both sides, cut a tube a little shorter than the width of the frame, clamped it in place, drilled holes. Yeah, and you can see it doesn't hang any further below the frame. I mean, hardware does. We can do just cut that bolt off just a little bit. And then did an angled bar for the transmission mount, and there up to there I'm going to do a gusset, just a small one, but it's 1/4 inch steel. It doesn't really bend too much, but I'll do something to help hold it a little bit. But yeah, got the transmission mounted in. Should have about a 1 degree rake, 1.5 degree rake, so it'll be about perfect. Got the shifter all put in there, but that way I can sort of kind of mock up the floor, figure out what to do for trans tunnel. Probably gonna run a bar from here probably to about here, and I'll cut a piece of plate, fill this in as flat as I can. I want the floor as flat and wide as I can over there for clutch pedal, brake pedal, and a throttle pedal. That'll be like right up against transmission tunnel. But yeah, so that'll be it for this video. I'm gonna do some cleaning up in here, and next video we'll be doing the floor, the back floor, mounting the back of the cab a little more solid. I just got an angle iron tacked on in the back to hold the lower angle iron on the back of the cab wall, so it's just sitting on there, clamped into place with that little board. I'll also assemble the dash pieces. You can see them sitting here. Start building the crossbar for the top, and a visor mechanism or setup they had, and the windshield, get it all put in there, and then I can start building bars to attach here and across the back, so we can do like a canvas top or a wood top, I don't know yet, something. And we'll be cutting out this back window eventually, so it has a big back window. Then we'll pull the body off once we get the floor all built, and I'll probably clean up as much as I can, you know, make it so, maybe make some doors, make it so they all shut, operate, and maybe paint the body flat black. I got a lot of work to do on these fenders. Dents there to pull out. I'm not gonna make it perfect, but I'll get them most of the way out and looking a little better than it does. Cracks to weld up. This fender needs some work here, back there, right there, in this corner, so I'll spend some time fixing that. So it'll probably be mostly body work, maybe some front frame section, but I don't want to get gung-ho here because I think I'm going to be moving this cross member back 1 inch or 2 to shorten the wheelbase up a couple inches. So Anyways, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to see more builds like this one.